Give 'em that big finish and then forget what came before. Just give 'em.
You might remember the TV show Smash. With a title like that, it was perhaps destined for Broadway. Now it's there. And as Tracy Smith tells us, everyone involved is hoping it lives up to its name.
Fade in on a girl with a hunger for fame and a face and a name to remember.
The new musical, Smash, is everything you'd expect, and maybe more.
I'll just have to forget the girl I used to love. Forget poor Norma Jean.
But like most big Broadway musicals, what you're seeing up on stage is only half the story. Smash Broadway is based on the 2012 NBC show of the same name. It was a cult hit and a show people loved to hate.
Let me be your star.
A drama within a drama about the making of a Broadway show about Marilyn Monroe called Bombshell, with Megan Hilty and Katharine McPhee vying for the role of a lifetime.
It's all here and my heart's bleeding. Let me be your star.
And now, after more than a decade of fits and starts, here it is, a Broadway show based on a TV show about the making of a Broadway show. Confusing? Maybe, but it all seems to work.
Music starts playing. It's the beat of her heart saying, let me be your star.
The score for both versions of Smash really started here, with two guys and a piano.
Fade in on a girl with a hunger for fame and a face and a name to remember.
The music and words are from legendary composing team Marc, Shaiman, and Scott Wittman.
How long have you worked together?
Since 1976. So as a...
Yeah. It was the Tall Ships, Legionnaire's Disease, and Son of Sam. That's when I met Marc.
In their long partnership, Shaiman and Wittman have created things for Broadway, Hollywood, and sometimes both, like the musical Hairspray. They still remember the moment they came up with that show's big closing number.
And I suddenly was like, you can't stop an avalanche as it races down the hill. And it was just pouring out of me.
Hairspray earned Shaiman and Wittman a Tony Award, but even after all their success, taking on Smash gave them that feeling they get before they start anything new, the fear of failure.
You two sing a little song before you approach every project.
Well, yes, we sing it almost every day, too.
Paralyzed with fear. Paralyzed with fear.
fear.
That's how we start writing any song. And we sing that for a day.
Because you're just looking at a white blank page, and it's just the most frightening thing on earth.
Music department, we're taking it from our leading ladies happy. Yeah?
To create a show within a show, it helps to have a rather experienced team, including renowned director Susan Stroman.
You know, you've won 5 Tonys. You've done this a long time. Are there lessons that you've taken from that apply to Smash?
Yes, I have. Everything that is in Smash, I've actually lived through.
The idea was to keep what was good from the TV show and reimagine the rest. The music stayed, of course, but the TV show was more of a drama. So with the blessing of producer Steven Spielberg, yeah, he does Broadway too, they made it funny.
This show will not end with Marilyn lying on a bed, naked and dead, wrapped in a white satin sheet.
Exactly. Nobody wants to buy a ticket to a depressing show.
I can stay home and be depressed for free.
There were also a few funny things they didn't plan. In the show, a main character was out and is replaced by an understudy at the last minute. And on the night of the very first preview, it happened for real.
One of the taglines for Smash is, behind every Broadway musical is a hot mess.
Yes, and that is absolutely true. You go in with the best intentions and something invariably goes wrong, and then everybody's on top of it to see how to fix it or which department can fix it.
And add the right spices when the stand-up bass slaps you in the face. Well, it ain't my husband I'll embrace.
Robyn Hurder is Ivy Lynn, an actress who plays Marilyn Monroe and winds up assuming her character.
In this factory where dreams can come true, are you ready to make someone new?
It's like a sandbox, and I just get to play around in it and get to do all the things. I get to be crazy, I get to be mean, I get to be sweet, I get to be funny, I get to cry, and I get to sing and dance, but it's everything.
I'll just have to forget the girl I used to love.
Hurder's personal story adds yet another layer to the oh-so-meta show. She's a Broadway veteran who made her mark not as a singer, but a dancer. And beneath that effortless glamour is someone who's fought 20 years for this moment, even past her own personal breaking point.
Were there moments where you wanted to give up?
Yeah. The whole business, this musical theater business was really, really getting to me. I realized that was my clock ticking, and I was like, I think I need to be a mom. And I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I said to my husband, I think I want to have a baby.
She did have a baby, a son, Hudson, and then everything changed.
Having Hudson was the best thing that ever could have happened to me, because that's when everything switched and everything clicked. I'm back and I'm achieving my dreams.
So protect them and take special care. Take care.
So, will it be a smash? One of the ads says, if you loved the TV series, it's exactly what you want. And if you didn't, we've changed everything.
Don't forget me.
But at its heart, Smash is really about collaboration, warts and all. And to these two lifelong collaborators, that might be a story that works for everyone.
What do you think the appeal is for somebody who hasn't seen the TV show?
I believe it's a universal feeling of watching a group of people trying to go to work. All right, what do we got to accomplish today? I think everyone can relate to that.
Let me